All right. Well, now you've got three options to play with, Michael, and none of them involve editing the profile of the wall.
I have a question for you, Jeff.
Sure. What's up, Mike?
When you just sparked this question in my mind when you said something about cutting holes in walls. Like, let's say you have a wall and you edit profile and you just draw, let's say, I do this fairly often, where I might have a concrete foundation wall that's below grade and have a room that's below grade, and then cut part of the foundation wall out to put a wood part of a wood frame wall in for a window well. If that wall moves, so I'll set up reference planes and the sketch lines for the wall. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but the sketch lines will lock like vertically to a reference plane and move vertically or move horizontally. But if you lock the reference plane, if you lock the sketch lines to a reference plane horizontally, the locks don't work. And if you move the reference line thinking that you're going to move the wall sketch, it doesn't work. Have you ever encountered that? Like,
I can see I think I can see what you're saying. I would counter that with don't edit the sketch of the wall. I could tell you my workflow in any of those conditions. Maybe if I'm quickly doing conceptual or something, I might do it, but I would use multiple walls for all of that. Even if you're doing an like an opening in the middle. So what I mean by that is if I do a 12-inch foundation, right? So what you're saying is, here's our foundation wall, and I'll put some footings on it just for fun, because why not? Okay, so here's our foundation wall, right? So what you're saying is you may go in here and is it a concrete above, or you're saying it's more like just a like that?
No concrete above.
Yeah. So that's even more of a reason to me. I wouldn't edit that sketch. I would do this.
Okay.
And put your wall in, right? Then it eliminates anything, because now, like, if as my rule of thumb with walls is, as much as possible, don't edit the sketch of a wall, right? If you get as far as you can doing what you need before clicking edit profile or whatever, edit profile. Yeah. And so, in that case, so I'll use exterior wood on wood stud, whatever. And yeah, you might deal with some annoyances up front, but whatever. For now, I'll just do this.
That would also help with having to push the foundation wall down to keep it from freezing.
Right. And so when you're moving it now, Michael, right now you're just selecting this, right? And it doesn't.
Okay.
You're not dealing with. Just in general, my rule of thumb in Revit is, as much as possible, do what you can before hitting that edit profile, right? Even like when we're talking about roofs and whatever, right? If you can try and do something where you're attaching, or those are a little different, but if you can try to make it attach versus edit, like, because the second, as you're seeing, right, the second you edit the profile of a wall, things happen. Just unexpected things happen, and you're beholden to the sketch, right? And that's where things start breaking and doing weird stuff. Because you have to, you know this because you've all edited walls before, right? The sketch of the wall isn't even always the geometry, because of cleanups and other walls interacting with it. And so it's just this weird, like, even if you sketch the perfect triangle, the outsides might go like this because they're cleaning up with the other wall, and because it's trying to do cleanups and stuff. And then you put windows in it, those openings aren't part of the sketch, right? So my rule of thumb, even in this condition, I might even if there was concrete on top, or maybe it was a CMU with a bond beam or something, if there's enough of it that, like, if this is another wall, not like a structural element, I might even do 3 walls, or two walls it would be, or 3 walls, I guess, if it's stacked vertically. I might even do that and actually model another wall on top of this wall.
Why don't you do opening?
Well, you could do a wall opening as well, yes. But same idea.
Okay.
My only thing with the opening, no, I guess it would act the same. My only thing with the opening is that because it's another element type
In it.
within it, yeah. Then when it comes to that modifying after the fact, you have to make sure you're selecting the opening on top of the wall type of thing. I don't know. It might. I
get where you're coming from
don't,
the profile, because profile doesn't move.
I don't like when an element is the exact same outline as another element. You know what I mean?
It's
if we can
tricky.
avoid it, right? Because because what I can do with an opening, and since you said it, we might as well do it. Let's do it. So actually, I'll leave that one over there. So and it actually probably would work fine, but I could just explain why my hesitation. So if I do a wall opening here. Which, yes, it's still better than a sketch because it's associated with this wall, right? But even here, even selecting the opening here, right? Look at it does have properties. But now if I put this guy, if I take this guy and put it in there, so I'll just copy him over. Well, you're gonna get that too, but that's. Let me just adjust this. Right, so that obviously would work, but this is what I mean by this whole overlap thing. So if I select this and move it, right? Oh, did I lock it? What did I do?
You're moving the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird. Is it because I'm not?
Because you're in 3D?
No, look at that. It's moving. It's even nudging. What?
Is it all connected?
Oh, because the walls are cleaning up. I bet that's why. This wall must be joined to this wall now? I don't know. That's really weird. And what happens if I move the opening? Let's see. Opening. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hold on. It doesn't like that. Let's see. There's the opening again. Can I nudge the opening? I can. Nothing's happening. It's not letting me move the opening. Interesting. So I can't even move the opening right now. Can I disjoin it? There we go. So if I disjoin it. So yeah, it actually did some kind of joining in there. That's kind of interesting. That could be a solution, I guess, if you want.
It'd be nice if you can move that whole thing over with one click, but you probably.
I mean, it seems like I can, as long as all I'm doing is selecting this wall. Oops. But actually, you can see it was actually editing the end of this wall. Yeah, it was moving it. It's just kind of weird. Isn't that weird?
Any entrance and going to a plan view and seeing what the grips are looking like in that area?
Let's see.
It's
What's this basement?
it's sometimes editing and plan and elevation. I know it's a pain, but
What if you were to just do just cut the wall with rather than making an opening, just do a cut. I usually do that. I take 2 walls and overlap them with one another, and then I just hit cut.
kind of
Yes,
like what
cut the opening. Yeah.
Yeah, and just cut the opening, and then they're completely separate. You can easily control, excuse me, the wall that you're cutting with, and you can grip it and move it around pretty simply. I've never tried doing the opening thing, but I just take a wall and embed it in the other one and call it a day. I usually use that for
Look,
windows,
it's cleaned up. Check
basements.
that out.
I'll put the window in the basement in order to control the trim and so on. I'll do that in like a stud wall.
So you're saying, just so everyone's following along, you're saying, Chris, to do this and do a cut geometry?
Exactly.
Yeah, which is another way, I guess, too.
I actually kind of like that.
I kind of like that, too.
Because I
I
saw.
think-
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, and look at that one doesn't move. Check it out. Whereas opposed to this one, look at this. What?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
That way you can.
What is
That's
happening? So bizarre. Well, now look at you've got 3 different options to use, Michael.
Yeah, I
like
like
the
Chris's
cut.
option the best so far.
The only downfall with the cut, which I guess can be an issue in the other ones too, is you deal with an error when you first do it. But whatever, which the overlapping wall error. But
Does the
whatever,
error go away when it's cut?
it should. Let's find out the warning.
Because watched some of other Phil's videos. I went on his on his YouTube, and
Mhm.
there's one that was about floors and like tile patterns. And when you have like a dark tile and a light tile, and you want to actually show it,
Yeah.
and you talked about doing a join with the two floors,
Mhm.
and then you wouldn't have this because it would actually cuts out the white
Yep.
floor from the dark floor. And I'm like, kind of cool. It still unfortunately leaves border lines. So if you like don't want to have your finish showing
Mhm.
over your floor and you just want to have a blank floor plan,
Yep.
you have to filter off those floors.
Yeah.
Because if you turn off floors in general, then you lose your concrete floor and your subfloor and stuff, which
Right.
nobody wants that.
All right, so you have now, Michael. You have three options other than editing the profile of the wall. You can split the concrete, so you have 3 walls here and a wall there. You can do an opening and put the wall inside the wall opening, or you can draw your wall and use modify cut geometry. And yeah, it does seem like as far as just how it interacts, it seems like cut might be the
most
cleanest.
natural.
Let's see. And it is, they're all cleaning. Oh, cut's not cleaning, so you have to join it after. But then what happens with join? Join would get rid of the opening. Hold on, I just want to see if I rejoin it. No, it's good. That's interesting that it didn't. If I join geometry after cutting it with the geometry, it's kind of fun, huh?
The only thing that I use that a lot for like windows in a basement. So that's the window is going to be framed with a stud wall basically in the opening. So I leave that to allow like my windows, I have trim on them and, depends on where I position it, where I want the trim to be and so on. But I find it easier than trying to have a window or a door cutting into a foundation wall. Now the trim pops all the way out.
Right.
The only problem with doing a cut wall is that when you then try to say put another wall inside, let's say you have a foundation wall and you're doing the finish, well, it will cut that finish if you join the finish wall plus the foundation wall. But sometimes
you may
that
not want
may not
that
be what you
sometimes.
want.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Sometimes
that's a good point.
That.
So because you're cutting, and I could just demo this.
It cuts anything that's joined.
Right. You're essentially making an opening. It's kind of like putting a window in it almost, right? And so if you join anything, so what you're saying, Chris, is if I was to put an interior drywall only in front of this thing. Right. Not to say that we would do drywall only without insulation or something, but I love this time of year because it really makes you think about building science. When you're in cold houses in New England here, that's when you really start thinking about building science and insulation and all this stuff. When it's 1 degree outside and you could tell exactly where it wasn't done right. Yeah. Like my daughter's room, which was our old bedroom. There's like 2 spots where I know from when we did the other addition, like it's just the insulation moved or something. And I just haven't gone back to get in there and do it. And it's like it's just so incredible how easily you could tell when it's just not even enough insulation, even though there's some there. All right, so if we put this in front of it, right? Let me pull this down. I should probably just move this wall out of the way. Let me get this guy out of the way. Yeah. So if you wanted this to join it for whatever reason, come on, give me the grip. There we go. All right. So if you wanted that to join, so that it's clean or whatever, then it's gonna, oops. Oh no, look at that, it didn't. Huh.
That should auto join with the.
Well, it depends. Well, look, it's stopping at the thickness of the wall that you've embedded. Like if you use a window, because the opening of a window goes through the entire wall, it'll do it automatically for a window. You pop a window in there.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that none of these. I'm surprised that the opening. Oh, I guess it's the opening. Yeah. So it's
cut the drywall with that inset wall like you did with the concrete wall.
Right. Maybe can you cut it even though it's not touching it? That's what I want to see. It does because it's all joined, so you can cut geometry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But if it unjoins, I bet it won't cut anymore, right? Because let's see.
Yes, if you unjoin.
It's not even letting me unjoin it. It's like, nope, you're joined forever.
This is an interesting thing to play
I
with.
literally, it's literally not letting me unjoin it. I wonder if I have to like uncut it further. Wait, let me join, unjoin. What is happening here? Am I missing something? Single pick, solid geometry. It's like nothing in here is saying it's joined. Look at, I can't. Weird. Well, it cuts it though, so that's cool. Let me put your window in there. Ta-da. Now you've got 3 options to play with, Michael. And none of them involve editing the profile of the wall.